Hello people from your top Zadarkus here with a League of Legends guide, and today I have a question for you. Do you want to be a support? Then this is the quick guide for you. Now you know that on Summoner Rift there are exactly 5 people on any given team. The top laner, the mid laner, the jungler, the AD carry and the support. The problem with this composition is that there are only 3 lanes, which leaves a jungler who kills the neutral monsters for gold and 1 member of the team that doesn't farm at all. Supports bravely volunteer for this duty, adding much needed utility to their teams. People who main support most likely have a large amount of patience, due to the fact that being a support means you have to babysit your AD carry almost 24/7. Having a support as your main does have its perks though. You don't need to worry about last hitting or ganking lanes. You get free gold from 3 different support items, which I'll cover in a bit. And you can always put your trust in your fellow bot lane teammate. But there's always downsides, including, but not limited to, getting blamed for just about everything. People yell at you because you don't ward, and receiving hate for building a damage item or two. That aside, supporting is maybe one of the most important roles in any game, and I'm here to teach you how to do it. Now first off, let's talk about vision. Easily one of the most important aspects of supporting is vision. One important thing to remember, everybody on the team, no matter what role, should ward. Thanks to the trinkets introduced in this season, this process has been much easier. But it is usually up to the support to ward the map and keep constant vision on important objectives. For starters, the item side stone should always be bought in any situation. But now, when to buy it, it's completely up to you. But having 4 free wards at any given time helps tremendously when scouting the map. Also make sure to buy vision wards, also known as pink wards, to eliminate enemy wards and to reveal characters in stealth. One important thing to remember is that you can only have 3 stealth wards, green wards, and 1 vision ward or pink ward at any given time. If you place more than the limit, your previous ward will be destroyed. Now, other than vision, there is crowd control. If you line up all your supports and look at their kits, they all have one thing in common. They all have crowd control abilities to protect their allies or disable their enemies. CC is often required to win fights in the bot lane, with battles many times coming down to who can stun the other one to prevent their actions. Now, there are 12 types of different CC, with some being available to only a few champions. The types of CC are knockback, knock up, blind, charm, fear, taunt, polymorph, snare, slow, silence, stun and suppression. Besides farming, your objectives should be to either kill the enemy bot lane or force them out of the lane so that you can do objectives like Drake or take a tower. During skirmishes between the 4 bot laners, CC is used to maximum the effect to win those fights. A few things to remember. Always use CC when escaping to impede your enemies. Use your stuns or silence when the enemy is most likely to cast abilities. And never waste your CC abilities to mess with your opponents, as you may need them later on and they are in cooldown and you get messed up. Now let's talk about items and gold making. As a support you won't be farming or jungling, but there is a third way to make money. Gold per 5 through runes and masteries. Poking with the big buck, that mastery, and in some cases just being around someone who farms. There are 3 items to make gold in the game: Relic Shield, Ancient Coin and Spell Thief's Edge. Each gives you gold per 5, as well a different way to make gold without actually last hitting. It is recommended to upgrade and utilize your item's effect as much as possible for a maximum gold gain. Another important item, as mentioned before, is Sidestone, which gives you 4 wards for free and nice amount or small amount of HP. Always build Sidestone and one of the above gold making items. The rest of your build depends on the champion, but as general rule, caster supports builds ability power and cooldown reduction, while tank supports build straight up HP and resistances. Your trinket choice is optional as well. If you are new to the game, I recommend sticking with the traditional war trinket and maybe later on move to the sweeper to clean wards more effectively. Now let's talk about poking and playmaking. If you are a caster support such as Sona, Soraka or Lulu, you generally want to poke the enemy to death. The item Spell Thief Edge and the Mastery Pickpocket will constantly reward you gold for harassing the opposing bot laners with your auto attacks. For tank support such as Alistar, Leona or Braum, you should focus on engaging your enemy, making plays to force them out of the lane or kill them. Use your skills and your opponent weakness to ensure that if you engage you can win. Remember that no matter what support you play, as your damage will often not be enough to kill a champion, so you must rely on your AD carry to kill the enemies. When engaging or counter-engaging, utilize any CC you have to lock down the enemy that allow your ADC to whittle their HP down. If you are in the thick of things, make sure to stay and fight to ensure your play succeeds. More often than not, your soaking up damage will turn the battle in your favor, keeping your AD carry safe so he can focus on eliminating your enemies. And when things go sour for you and your AD carry, make sure your ADC escapes. Early game, your life means nothing compared to your ADC's in time of crisis. Keep him alive and he will win you the game. When disengaging, utilize your CC to impede shaders and body block anything coming towards your AD carry. Trust me, you will get instant bro cred. Now before I end, I want to talk about synergy. When you pick a support, it's generally a best idea to pick a champion that works well with your fellow AD carry. For instance, choosing an aggressive tank like Leona might not be the best when paired with a passive farmer like Kog'Maw. New bot lane combinations are discovered all the time, but you usually want to use a pair that works. For instance, Alistar and Draven work well together because Alistar can keep Draven safe and heavily CC anyone that comes near him. On the flip side, Draven's aggressive nature fits well with Alistar tankiness and abilities. All ADCs have multiple supports that are good matchups, but there is always that one special champion that feels like they were made to be perfectly matched. Personally, I find heavy CC combos such as Jinx and Nami or high burst combos such as Graves and Leona to be extremely effective against almost any team composition. One last thing to mention, if you are support with a pull, flip or knockback, make sure your AD carry knows when you throw a champion towards them. And after this guide, can you see how simple supporting is? Of course, it takes a lot of master of the role and the champions, but the concepts behind it are pretty simple. It is sure an unorthodox role to play, but it really feels rewarding to carry your team to victory by assisting them in all manners and keeping them alive. If you are thinking about supporting, make sure to follow this guide and any other guide in this channel, as you will be receiving endless prize for your team. I thank you for watching this, and remember that you can subscribe for more guides and any new updates coming from me. As always, I think about you guys and try to bring you some nice and fresh guides. Other than that, feel free to leave a comment or a like. You know that my name has been Zadarkus. This is the League of Legends School Academy. I see you around, and as always, remember to enjoy the game.
Turn it up. Down.